Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thank you for logging on. If you love this watch, my email is still tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's still in the description below. It is your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any of our platforms. Please reach out to me directly. I am tmosso@thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details. Today, we're discussing a model originally launched in 2005 that became available in the boutique edition, as of 2009. This is the FP Journe Chronometre Souverain Boutique Edition. Boutique Edition was a series launched in 2009, an exclusive combination of a black dial and a rose gold case, only available if you were purchasing from an FP Journe factory store. Now, the CS debuted back in 2005. It was immediately recognized with a category win at the GPHG. It is a fine timepiece that represents FP Journe's notion of a modern manual wind wrist chronometer. This version in rose gold, 40 millimeters in diameter, is 8.9 millimeters thick, 48 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip, with a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. We'll throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, and you can see it's a good fit. I could actually recommend the 40 millimeter case for a wrist as small as 14 centimeters circumference. Now I'm pulling it tight, and the strap is still very stiff. It hasn't been broken in, which exaggerates the perceived width of the watch across the wrist. 14 centimeters circumference and up can wear this watch quite well, and it will easily slide underneath a tight sleeve or dress cuff. The strap, as you can see, is an FP Journe factory strap. It is large rectangular scale alligator leather with a semi-gloss finish on the top. You can see the use of curved spring bars. The strap is very close hauled to the case for an integrated look, and the lugs are drilled close to the case, so the pivot centers are inboard and the small wrist fit is excellent. But because of the curvature of the spring bar, there's no impediment to the motion of the strap, and if you want, you can pull it straight down out of the lugs. The strap is gator on both sides, with round scale being used on the bottom. Small round scale makes this a more durable strap than if it were calfskin on the bottom, so it costs a few $100s more than a conventional strap, but it's worth it for its durability and, frankly, a watch deserving of the best. Now, there is a pull tab spring bar, as you can see, on each side, so you can pop the strap off with just a fingernail. We have a rose gold FP Journe pin buckle for dress watch style on-the-fly adjustment. We have an all-polished case with a domed bezel, a domed case back, the overlapping flange of the bezel and the case back define the polished mid-case, and then we have lovely integrated lugs that blend into the case profile and taper down almost 90 degrees from the horizontal of the case. We have the signature unsigned Journe double dimple and knurled crown, instantly recognizable even without a name brand on it. We have a dial that is black with a pyramid-style stamping at the center, gilt rose gold printing, radially arrayed Arabic numerals that actually wax and wane in size as they flow around the features of the dial. The minute track and the hour track are matte finished. The hands in rose gold are the distinctive tapered, almost biomorphic Journe hands with a Lancet-style counterweighted small seconds hand that has its own tiny railroad track. There's a larger railroad track outboard for the minutes, a power reserve indicator for the 56-hour power reserve, and take note, the indicateur réserve de marche, power reserve indicator, moves backwards. It indicates 0 when fully wound because it stands for 0 hours since the last full winding. And the reason for that is that's how it would have been done on historic marine chronometers or navigation clocks, which had to be wound exactly 24 hours apart to maintain consistency. So you had to know the hours since the last winding, not the number of hours until it would stop. That's why this power reserve works like those power reserves. Journe, making his own cases, dials, and movements, so fully integrated, one of the smallest fully integrated manufacturers in the world. The Journe factory only makes 900 mechanical watches a year, but it makes every significant part. As of mid-2004, Journe started making most of his movements out of solid gold. So these bridges and plates on the caliber 1304 are made of solid 18-karat gold. It's a manual wind twin barrel with the barrels in series and the torque curves of the mainsprings phased, so that for most of the 56 hours, balance amplitude remains consistent because torque to the escapement remains very flat and consistent for maximum optimization of adjustment. And you can see it is optimized with a free-sprung balance that's not only highly shock resistant, but easy to tune precisely. It's been regulated in 6 positions, one more than a standard chronometer. 6-position adjustment is very rare. And although it's a 3 Hz beat rate and not a faster 4 Hz beat rate, you could see the size of the balance is telling. Its enormous amount of inertia means that it's able to shake off concussions or vibrations on the wrist the way a smaller, higher frequency balance would. You can also appreciate that it is a handsome movement secured inside a 30-meter water-resistant case. The 2 barrels sit aside from the escapement. You can see the barrels, but you cannot see the drivetrain between the barrels and the escapement because the drivetrain runs under the dial of the watch, the 56-hour power reserve channeled from barrel to escapement in what Journe calls the hidden train. And it is hidden. It's a good-looking movement you can see with linear stripes across the bridges, solarization of the crown wheel core. We have a swan's neck polished click spring inspired by pocket watches. We have satination on the barrel caps. We have anglage that is started mechanically but finished with a manual buffing tool on the edge of the bridges. You can also see that there is a mechanical bevel inside the jewel sinks. Satination on the regulator cap. All screw heads have been black polished. There's engine turning on the base plate adjacent to the balance. And then you can see that there's a sort of sunray solarization on the plate between the barrels and the escapement itself. So a lot going on inside this movement. If you love this watch, reach out to me. I am Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.